scrap. Anyway, so the winch is on. It's all wired up, it works and everything. But to get a remote for an old worn 8274, you gotta shell out a lot of money on eBay. So I decided to make my own switch. And you could use the round trailer plug, the 4-pin, right here, and plug directly into the front of the winch box. I couldn't find one, so I had to use a flat 4 trailer plug, but you know, whatever. You also want to make sure you use 12 gauge wire. It's actually only 3 wires, but I ran a white wire for the ground for the power light right here. When you flip on the power and you turn this, it's got a little LED light that lights up red, so you know that the here, I'll hook it up so you know the power's on. Anyway, so I didn't want to pay the money for the bigger switch, so I built this, and I rewired all this stuff, and all the solenoids behind there, they're just car solenoids. As you can see, there's no plug. And cleaned up all my connections, took all apart the motor, actually pulled the whole winch apart, put new bushings in the bottom, O-ring seals, thrush washers, new gasket, new oil, inspected the brake. Yeah. So it's got 150 feet of cable, new roller pin clips. I painted the last foot of cable with Chevy orange, and then my hook's obviously green. Anyway, so now this is plugged in. You can see this is your on switch. See, lights up. And then it's one of those quick kill switches, so you can shut power off to the winch really fast. And then this right here is a dual position, dual throw switch or something like that. Or single pull switch, or dual pulse, double throw switch or whatever. But it returns to neutral. Neutral is its safety, so it only click up and down. And what you do is you run your power to the middle, and then you run power to one way on your solenoids to spin the winch one way, and then reverse polarity is the other one. So that's all this does. And you use this. You would want to get a single pull. Ideally, I can only find a dual, but you want to make it's a spring-loaded return to center, so that way when you let your hand off, the winch won't eat your hand. So, and then for wiring, what I did was I ran a dual post battery. This is actually out of my 84 Chevy. So you got top post, so I made a battery positive cable going down. This is about 0 gauge or 2 gauge welding wire. This is old stuff, what he had, so I just reused it. Then I ran my ground because it wasn't long enough right to the frame rail right there. And it wasn't grounding right, so I ran another ground from the negative to the frame. So now it's all grounded really good. And then the truck is obviously still side post, so that way none of the wiring's all hacked in. It'll be all nice. I'm going to use a rubber inner tube out of a bicycle around where it goes to the frame and stuff, or maybe some garden hose. I haven't decided yet. But it did overheat on me, and when it overheats, it can get stuck in a position going forwards or backwards, so I had to pull the top post off, but I went to Wally World and got a battery post disconnect. So I'm going to wire this in so I can turn off power to the winch when I'm not using it, or if it ever does that again, I can shut it off really quick. Wow. That's that, and I did retain my factory tow hooks. They're a little too big for the hook on the winch though, too thick, so well. More lawnmowers for scrap. And my other bumper that is for sale. Worn winch bumper.